If you think that it's too late to get rich, that's a lie. You don't need to be 20 years old to build wealth. You just need a different strategy. We're going to go over 5 traps keeping you stuck and 5 moves you can make to catch up. And at the end, I'm going to talk about 3 wealth hacks that'll help you breathe a little. Most people waste years stuck in this loop of I should have started sooner, yet they're still not starting, only replaying what they didn't do. Let's be real, regret is wasted energy about things in your past. And unless you do something different in the present, it's not going to change your future. And you don't owe your past anything, but you do owe your future a plan. So yeah, maybe the best time to start was 10 years ago, but the next best time is right now. Because the last thing you want is for another 10 years to go by and you're sitting there thinking, I've wasted another decade that I could have been building wealth. Get out of the I could have, I would have, and I should have spiral and step into that I should, I can, and I will. Now, you know what's worse than starting late? Leaving free money on the table. It's so much worse. If your job offers 401k matches, Roth IRAs, and HSAs, and you're not using them, you're handing away your future. These aren't just random accounts. Wealthy people use these to get richer. So you should be using them too. So many people have access to these and don't even touch them. Some people don't even know they have access to them. I don't know if y'all heard of Myron Golden, but he said something that's stuck with me. What's crazier than what people will do for money is what they won't do for money. People will clock 20 hours of overtime at a job they hate, sweating in the heat or freezing in the cold, but won't spend a few hours setting up a Roth IRA or grabbing a free match on their paycheck. Like that's money literally being handed to you, and it takes 0 hours of overtime. Listen, this isn't hustle culture. This is a strategy. What would it look like to stop leaving money on the table? Maybe it looks like peace. Maybe it even looks like progress. Get your money. And let's stop playing small. Saving is cool. It's safe. I have nothing against saving. I save myself. But saving alone isn't going to make you rich, and it's certainly not going to help you build any wealth. If your money is in a regular savings account, you're losing value on it every single day due to inflation. In the banks, they're flipping your money and making way more than they're ever going to give you back in interest. Think about it real quick. If you are paying interest on a credit card, you're paying right now anywhere from 25 to 30%. And they're using your money to loan it out to those credit cards. But your savings account, it only builds at best 4.5% interest, 25 to 30 versus 4.5%. And that's if you're lucky. Most accounts are only getting 0.5% of interest on the money that they have in their savings account. But the stock market historically returns 7 to 8% a year. So that's the difference between having 50,000 that just sits there in a savings account versus 50,000 that grows into 250,000 over time. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars just from changing where you keep your money. You worked for it. Now it's time to make it work for you. And it can if you stop letting it sit still. This is exactly why wealthy people invest. They don't just stash cash and hope for the best. And I'm not talking about gambling your money on some random stocks or trying to strike gold overnight. I'm talking about smart, consistent, long-term growth. Even just $100 a month makes a difference over time. But if you're just saving, thinking you're playing it safe, you're just playing it small right now. A lot of people blame debt on why they're broke. But it's not just debt, it's a lack of having a strategy behind it. Debt without a plan is dangerous. But not all debt is the enemy. High interest debt is though. So if you have high interest debt, pay that off fast and now, because that's eating your money every single month. But low interest debt, that's not the villain people make it out to be. Wealthy people ain't running to the bank to pay off their low interest debt. They use it strategically as leverage. Here's where most people go wrong. One is they try to pay everything off instead of building cash flow. You can be debt-free and still be broke if you've never built any assets. Two, they treat all debt the same. A 20% credit card, horrible. Get rid of it. A 3% mortgage, not the same thing. Three is they throw every extra dollar at debt instead of building wealth. If your debt's at 3%, and you can invest for 8%, why are you rushing to pay off cheap money? And the big one, they never learn to use debt as a tool. Businesses use it, real estate use it, wealthy people definitely use it. But most of us were taught that debt was bad, and we've never been taught the other side of things. Here's a smarter way of doing things. Wipe out high interest debt fast. Keep low interest debt manageable. Use the freed up money to invest and build wealth. That's the real strategy the wealthy use. Debt isn't the enemy. Debt without a plan is. Stop thinking I just need to pay everything off and start thinking, how can I make my money work while managing my debt the smart way? You deserve that freedom and that growth. Let's be honest, you can only budget so much. You can cut the lattes, skip the brunches, clip the coupons, and sure, maybe you'll save enough to treat yourself on something big every once in a while. But that's not going to make you wealthy. If you're not making enough money, saving is just a slow grind. You can't outsave your way to financial freedom. You have to out earn it. And no, I'm not saying work 3 jobs and burn out. What I'm saying is do what the wealthy do. 1, learn high paying skills. It is way too easy to learn new skills now with YouTube, Google, the online academy like Udemy and Coursera and all the others out there. Focus on skills that pay you more per hour so you're not hustling harder. You're earning smarter. 2, start a side hustle that makes sense for you. Something already built around your strengths or something you enjoy doing. Think about it. If you made an extra $500 a month and invested it, that's $86,000 in 10 years. And I know 10 years sounds like a long time, but if you had started 10 years ago, you'd be sitting on 86,000 right now. So let's not let another decade pass with you wishing you had started. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're not really going to regret in 10 years having 86,000 in the bank. It's not like you're going to say, that was a waste of 10 years. I wish I wouldn't have done that. Make it make sense. Actually, make it make thousands. And 3, invest in real assets. Your car, not an asset. Your personal home, not an asset if you're the one paying the mortgage. Real assets are the ones that pay you. Because the moment your money starts making its own money, that's when you've stopped trading your time for dollars. Wealth is built when we stop selling. So when I say make more, I'm not saying work until you're burnt out. I'm saying level up. Because when you start earning more, you finally stop playing catch up. So let's talk about how we can speed things up. And I'm not talking about getting rich overnight because that's not how it's done. But these moves will put you ahead of the game. 1 is credit card hacking, my favorite. Used the right way, credit cards can really earn you some good money with sign-up bonuses, free cash, flights, or rewards for spending what you would have normally spent anyway. The holy grail in credit card hacking, my favorite thing ever. If you watch my channel, you know 0 APR periods, 6, 12, even 21 months of interest-free borrowing. If you're strategic with this, you can pay other debt off faster, or you can even invest this money to build wealth, all while paying 0 interest. But here's the key. Use credit like a debit card. You've heard this before, and the reason is because this is the only real way to do it correctly. Credit cards are tools, not crutches. The second hack is tax loopholes. You hear these, they're all over Instagram, all over, I'm sure TikTok. I don't know, I don't have one. They're definitely all over YouTube. They work, and this is why wealthy people use them. They just play the game different. I mentioned this earlier. HSAs. Health savings accounts. They are a triple tax advantage. The money that goes into an HSA is not taxed. It grows tax-free, and you can use it tax-free. Plus, what you don't use rolls over year after year after year, and it can be invested. And after age 65, you can use it for anything with no penalties. If you have access to this and you're not using it, you're leaving major wealth on the table. And the third one is a high yield side hustle. Not just any side hustle, but a side hustle that pays more than your job. Some examples of these are copywriting, web design, video editing, consulting, and even digital marketing. One good client can pay you more in a month than your job does in 3 months. The truth is, most people are squeezing pennies while others are building high income skills and stacking streams of income. These aren't secrets. They're just under you. Wealth doesn't have to be slow. You just need the right moves and you need to be consistent. Stop wasting time. Claim your free money. Invest for growth. Manage debt with a plan and earn more. You do those 5 things and you'll be ahead of 90% of people out there. If you had to start today, tell me in the comments which one feels like the easiest move to start right now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.